Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock. This is City of Heroes. We are with Mr. Eclipse, our 19th level character. We have just under 20,000 experience points to go to hit level 20, and we are on a story arc for antimatter, and we need to apprehend some arachnos because remember they were setting bombs all over the tunnels and stuff. So I hope you guys are enjoying. We're coming to the end of the gold side storyline because this storyline only goes till about level 20. Looks like there's an NPC caught behind the door in there. So let's open it up. Come on out. Oh, and there's another NPC. Oh boy. Let's do that. And let's attack him with our minions. Lock him down. There we go. So our little followers are pretty cool. They're okay at drawing aggro. Not as good as I'd hoped. Maybe that'll change as we level them up and they get more powerful, they do more damage. Here, go attack somebody else. So did that NPC take care of this guy or not? Yeah, it looks like he did. Okay, who is this that's following us around? Inspector Kang. And why'd the map go away? Boy, I have been having terrible luck with hitting. I was going back watching my last video a little bit to make sure the sound was okay and stuff, and I watched a few minutes of it, and I noticed I had several twin and triple misses. Several doubles, you know, where I missed and then missed again. Or I had a few cases where I missed like 3 out of 5. And there's a boss. We can't dominate. I guess we'll grab a break free and see if we can hold her as best we can and hope that he helps us. Ouch. Oh, we can dominate. Okay, this is good. There we go. And this should get her. There you go. She's held now. I need to get rid of sprint because that drains your endurance. And there we go. We want to keep dominating, which locks the enemy down. And just chain it. And that should be it. There we go. We took a boss out. This was Echidna. I said that was a weird name for an animal. And then we have another boss, Pyra. Boy, these NPCs are really slow to aggro to my enemies. You know, this guy takes him a long time to realize that I'm in combat. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm in combat, he has to get within aggro radius, you know? Okay. 3 beads into level 19. Okay, at least we don't have any more bosses. You can go attack the Mew. And let's lock them all down and AoE them. Of course I missed. There we go. And you can attack each other until we kill you. More missing. So let's see. I sold off all the junk enhancements that we had, and so we don't really have anything. I'm not going to worry about them once we hit level 22, which will be fairly soon. then I'll go ahead and make sure that we have SOs on everything. We're not going to worry about inventions until we get level 31s. There we go. I so love doing AoEs. Especially ones that do nice damage like that. We definitely need to slot that one up, because that does really good damage. Here, go attack your friends. And then let's entangle that guy and hold him. Yeah, once we get the SOs and we have a couple of SOs on our hold power, we'll be able to hold 2 guys at once for pretty decent length of time. And so I do want to point out, I can't remember which power this is. Is it Fearsome Stare? That is a cone. I guess I had assumed that that one was a... why are you not attacking? I guess I had assumed that that one was a single target for some reason. And I kept saying we don't need another single target lockdown, but that one actually is a cone. So we probably do want to prioritize that a little bit. I mean, I want to get them all eventually, but you know, I thought the pets would be a better pick just because they can at least potentially draw some aggro. Unfortunately, the confusion doesn't. I kind of wish it did, right? If it, like, kind of made them almost switch factions to us, that would be a little bit better, because then the enemies would attack each other. But I guess the reason they don't do that is because then that would make it almost like an AoE confuse, which it's not. And its endurance and recharge and stuff is based on it being a single target rather than an AoE. Right? Because if I hit one guy and they all started shooting each other, and like these two started shooting him, then it would be like doing an AoE cone, right? Let's have our haunts attack this guy. Go for it, and then we'll confuse that guy. I thought he was going to aggro them, but he didn't. Yeah, those haunts are really cool looking, I will say that. That's it, get him! I definitely like the dark effects. I mean, it definitely looks like some kind of nasty darkness, like I don't know what you would call it. It looks like some kind of a Lovecraftian thing. And this door opens to what? Another one of these rooms? Okay. Well, we'll hold the domination until we need it, I guess. Because these are small spawns of just single or triple minions, like white cons, so... I do like being able to lock them down into the space for my AoE, and then I can AoE them all, which is pretty cool. I think that works pretty well. And there's another boss, so dominate. Let's grab a break free. Got him. And we're just going to lock him down as much as possible. And pound him. Let's go ahead and use some extra accuracy. Oh, you know, so this is really interesting. I was, as I've said before, I have this friend who, um, he was banned. He's been banned repeatedly from D&D Beyond. He's actually, doing what you're not supposed to do, right? He was banned under his first name, call him X, and then he was disciplined repeatedly and finally banned. And then he made up a new name and he went in there and he told me, he private messaged me and he told me who he was, and I said to him, look, let's make a Discord in case you get banned again, and we did, and so we're we talk on Discord now, and then he got banned, and then he was banned under Y, and now he's Z, right? And he's been given multiple suspensions, but he hasn't been banned yet. And so I'll tell you what he was saying after this. But he says, good job on all that, Mr. Eclipse. I've got the bombs shipped to one of my labs. I had to pull a few of my assistants off their current assignments to get this work done. I don't think it's very important, but orders from on high say that at least one of my teams has to examine it. And he lets out a sigh. And anyway, those destined ones have been sent to Marshan to deal with. And then part 4, I wonder if sometimes Praetor Barry has all these problems. I've gotten reports of an alarm going off in one of my labs. It's probably the longbow from the looks of it, so go and help us in the lab. So go investigate the disturbance. So yeah, anyway, he's been banned repeatedly, this guy, and he copied me a post on one of the forums. We're not going to talk about the details. This is just something that I found really weird and interesting. We know from the past accounts that he's had that one of the moderators, the one that we call the Ban Bunny, who likes to discipline people because they say things he doesn't agree with, or say things that don't agree with the Wizards of the Coast party line. Which, I mean, it's their forum; they can do what they want, right? But they're the reason. That guy's the reason I don't post there anymore, and so I'm officially not a member of that forum. I read it, but you can do that anonymously, and I don't post there. And the only reason I still have a free membership to the D&D Beyond website is that I assume that at some point one of my friends is going to take back over from my group after Deadlands is done, and they're going to be running D&D, and we're going to be on the D&D Beyond website. That's my assumption. Because if Wizards of the Coast has their way, it'll be the only way you can play D&D is through their website, because they want to create a walled garden. So that's all fine. And I forgot break freeze, so we may have trouble in here, but we'll see. We have 4 Lux. It might be enough to make them miss us. So anyway, this Ban Bunny, we know at one point was a follower of both the first and the second accounts X and Y. I don't know if he follows Z. But yeah, he said I have 2 followers, you, because I was following him just to see what they did to him out of curiosity, and the Ban Bunny. And I looked and you could see that that was true. Uh-oh. This could be bad. Let's see. I'll continue the story after we do this. So the Dark Watcher, who are you? How do you know my name? My name is Dark Watcher. I know many things about you, Mr. Eclipse. I know that you believe, or at least you show you believe, that in protecting people of Praetoria. I know that you would do anything to protect these people, even if I'm working with a lunatic such as Tillman, or people such as Antimatter. Because of this, that I appealed to you today. What do you want to speak to me about? About the incursions by Longbow and Arachnos, you may or may not be aware that these 2 groups are not from Pretoria. They're from a place called Primal Earth that is in another dimension. There, your Emperor Cole is called Statesman, or was, at least until Statesman was killed. By the way, spoiler alert! That's actually one of the story arcs. They shouldn't have that in here. The planet has not been devoured by the Hamanon, but was ravaged by aliens called the Ricti. And so the Longbow are afraid that Emperor Cole, or as they call him, Tyrant, they're afraid of him. They've run into him before, and they believe he intends to destroy our world. That aspect I cannot prove beyond a doubt yet. What I want to do is prove to you that Longbow is not your enemy. And they endanger people of Pretoria. And he says, that's very true. I'm working on as far as possible on my end to get them to see that not all Praetorians are evil. Many Longbow believe that the innocent Praetorian citizens wish to see Primal Earth burn. Obviously, this is causing a bad issue with us. The only group from Primal Earth who are truly up to no good are the Arachnos, of course, who I'm sure you've run into. They seek to manipulate the resistance in order to destroy Cole and all of Praetoria. They are the true enemy to both you and your people. The last thing that I ask of you is to follow your intuition. The intuition of Interrogator Kang. He is an intelligent man. So what comes next? An ambush by the longbow. The longbow. Okay, so we're getting ambushed. That's all right. We do have pets. So defeat all incoming longbow. Don't know which direction they're going to come from. Let's back up a little bit here. I assume they're going to come from over here. Yep, there they are. Okay. Well, this is, I mean, as long as they're minions, it's not so bad. We can turn them against us and lock them down. There we go. Actually, that was really lucky. I threw that while he was over here, and then he ran forward. But that locked these two guys over there, which is awesome. So anyway, so we noticed that this guy, the Band Bunny as we call him, was following this friend of mine, probably to make sure he didn't keep doing bad stuff, right? Or at least as far as they're concerned, to make sure he wasn't saying things that the D&D Beyond website and Wizards of the Coast wouldn't approve of, like how dare he saying that 5th edition, the new version of D&D is actually 6th edition. Oh, that's terrible. You can get in trouble for that, right? Because they don't want to call it 6th edition because it's bad for sales, right? So anyway, they made a post. This moderator, I guess, made a post. I'm not sure if it was the moderator or somebody else, but I think it was the moderator, made a post that indicated that, how did they say it? They were talking about, they weren't just talking about the people who were making the offensive posts, right? Saying that 5th edition is, that this new edition isn't 5.5 or 6th edition. It is D&D 5th edition, period. That everybody who is, so not only are the people who are saying, no, it's another edition getting, moderated, but they're apparently complaining now about the people who give a +1 to that, like a like to it. Oh, you can see the same people are giving likes to all these different posts. So they're actually, the implication of what was said is that they're not only tracking the posts, but they're actually tracking whether you're liking a post that they disagree with or that they moderate. And if you like the post, they're paying attention. And that's not good either. You can't even give it a +1. And I thought, well, that's interesting, because one of the things I have done, I figured I'd help the guy out, right? This friend of mine, is I give his posts +1s just to let the developers, the moderators or whatever, know that he's not crazy, quote unquote, or whatever. There are other people on the forums who may not be saying anything directly, but we agree with him, right, about some of the stuff he's saying, not just about the additions, but various things. And I thought, wow, I actually could get moderated over that based on what they're saying. You could not only get into trouble for making a post that they don't like, but you could get into trouble for liking a post that they don't like. I am so glad I am well and truly out of that forum. It's truly Orwellian, right? There's like actually almost becoming a newspeak around the new D&D. You have to call it D&D 2024, 5th edition 2024. If it's actually, you get into trouble if you call it 5.5th edition or 6th edition. In fact, this one friend of mine, he got moderated for calling it 6th edition and spreading misinformation in a thread that called it 5.5 edition. And like the thread title calls it 5.5 edition. The other people in the thread were calling it 5.5 edition. When this guy said it's not 5th edition, it's 6th edition, he was told it's spreading misinformation to call it anything other than 5th edition. I'm like, well, why are these other people allowed to call it that? Even in the thread title. Why are you coming up to me? You are controlled. What are you doing? Why is the one who's controlled now? She's shooting somebody else. There, you get controlled too. Or he. Is it he or she? It's she. Well, we'll hold her. Yeah, so it's really interesting how Orwellian it has become, right? You can't even make the statement that's obviously true. It is another edition of D&D, and the only reason they're not calling it another edition is because of sales, right? That there are a bunch of people who would buy 6th edition on the fact that it's 6th edition, but if they had named it 6th edition, a year or two ago, when everything was starting up, people would have stopped buying 5th edition resources because they would have been waiting for the new edition to come out. And Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast didn't want them. There's a whole strategy behind whether you call something another edition or not, right? And we talked about in the last episode. Oh, boss. Dominate. Grab her. Oh, I missed her. That's really bad. Can I get this to work? And have her at least not attack me? Until we hold her. There we go. That was close. Okay. Should be alright now. Let's get our minions to help us. They do some pretty good damage. So yeah, it's almost like Newspeak. You can't call it another edition. And if you do, you get into trouble on the forums. Not only for saying it's another edition, but for liking a post that says it's another edition. And like, guys, this is a losing battle, right? When Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast have been trying to make Dungeons and Dragons just be called Dungeons and Dragons with no edition attached, so they can make it sort of evergreen and then just put out new supplements and not worry about edition numbers, right? They've been doing that for a while, and they did that with 5th edition. When D&D came out in 2013, it wasn't called 5th edition, it was just called Dungeons and Dragons. And everyone on the internet and all the players called it 5th edition, so eventually Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast gave up and started calling it 5th edition. We're going to go to Antimatter now because we need to buy some inspirations. So yeah, they can do whatever they want on their little ministry of misinformation over on D&D Beyond, which is almost literally what it is. But whether they like it or not, everybody's calling it 5.5 basically that I've seen on the internet. Most people are calling it 5.5. So nobody's going to call it D&D 2024 because it takes too many characters to type out that. They're just going to call it 6E. It's 2 characters, and everybody knows what you're talking about when you say that. 5.5E is as many characters as 2024, so that might not... I honestly think people are just going to call it 6E, but we'll see what happens. One thing I do know is they can ban all they want. They can moderate people who like posts that call it 6E all they want. They are not going to be able to control what the players call this version of Dungeons and Dragons. They're not. That's what the players will decide. You can't make the fandom do something like that. Anyway, all right. So he says, you think Emperor Cole would give me more support than just the Lone Powers Division for my labs, but no, he thinks I can just rely on you and get everything done. Doesn't feel too good, does it? Hold on, I got an important conference, so missions. Part 5. How are we doing on time? Oh, we get 23 minutes. We got time. This ridiculous Mister Eclipse. This is the nerve of everyone. Arachnos troops have taken over one of my reactors. Some fool named Arbiter Sands is leading their troops. Okay, we know Arbiter Sands from the old days. So Resistance are working undercover for Calvin Scott. No, we're not working undercover. So let's get the store, and we're going to sell this Cruft. That's a great word, by the way. I got that from somebody I was watching a YouTube video, and it's funny, some dictionaries don't have it, but Cruft basically means like chaff. I guess it's a British word. You don't see it as much in American English, but I really like it. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know what the players call a thing is really not up to the company. It's really up to the players. You know, and what the players do with a game. Like, you can do whatever you want in the game itself, but what the players do with the game once you roll it out is really not up to you. And that's, I mean, it's to a small degree true even in something like an MMO, right? Like this, because like, it was never Cryptic Studios' intention to have like perma-haste, perma-elude. But like, once you put the game live, you can't control what the players do with it. Right? And even more so pen and paper, because at least with this, they could change the code to slow down the hasten recharge time, and to slow down the elude recharge time, or they could recode elude not to take the recharge of hasten, or however they want to do it. They could like literally stop you from doing it in a computer game, but they can't in a pencil and paper game. They just cannot, right? Because you can just do whatever you want. And they really can't stop it. Oh, we don't want players, doing this certain thing. Well, yeah, you can't do anything about that. So you don't want players calling it 6th edition. There's nothing you can do about it. Right? All the gamers started calling the previous edition of D&D 5e, and it's 5e. Like, that's it. And even the company had to give in. And I mean, there are things that, absolutely happen like that in City of Heroes too, where not so much what things were called, but the players decided they were going to do stuff, and the developers disincentivized it as much as possible, and to some degree, the players are going to do what players are going to do. And you kind of can't stop it. You can disincentivize it as much as possible. It's too far from them. You can disincentivize it as much as possible, but players are going to play the game the way they want, and there really isn't any way to stop it. And I remember somebody on the D&D Beyond forums, this one person on the D&D Beyond forums, when I made an argument sort of like that a couple years ago, and this person basically said, well, it's the company's responsibility to do everything they can to try and stop as many people from doing this as possible. And I'm like, here's the person who, when I would say something like, oh, the old way of doing stuff was better and you shouldn't do it this way, and accused me of saying that people were having quote-unquote bad wrong fun, right? You're having fun wrong. And yet, when the game is written the way she wanted, and I say, well, you can't force me to do that, she was pretty much saying you're having bad wrong fun if you don't do it, and the company should find a way to force people. Oh boy, I am low on endurance. I have not been watching. So let's just slow it down a little bit. We're still alright. We got this guy helping. I could get the endurance back with domination, but I don't know if there's going to be a boss here, so well, let's just get it back. We probably got a ways before the boss, and there's 15 more guys to fight, so we're only halfway through. Oh, and watch, there's a boss right there yet. So that's okay, we're under domination. And we've got our pets. Okay, let's pet the guy up. See if they can draw some aggro, and see if we can dominate. There we go. Just do everything to him. Get him, guys. Beat him up. They do some good damage, I will say. And we haven't enhanced them yet, so I definitely want to enhance those pets. There's another boss. Alright, come with me, guys. There we go. Go get him. Go get him. Oh, it's so much easier with a mastermind. You cannot control these guys. I need to play another Mastermind at some point. They are really fun. Probably won't be one that I'll show. Another boss! Oh my gosh, that's horrible. See if we can get him. Dominate. That's good. Wow, I didn't not realize there were this many bosses in here. This isn't Arbiter Sands yet. I bet he's going to be an EB. So we gotta hope our domination is back by then. Okay, 9 more Arachnos to go. Yeah, what was that? Fred, right? This was an acknowledgement. Not a fan of Steve Long or the people who run the Hero Games company now, but when Steve Long and his group took over Hero Games, and people were talking about the fact that they were going to create a new version of, well, it was really more Hero System for 5th edition rather than Champions 5th edition, because they demoted Champions to just a Hero System setting rather than the game being called Champions, which I think was a huge mistake. But everybody on my, I used to run a text-based online game that was based on Champions, and they put the new edition out, and I actually, when I started the game, I actually got permission from Steve Peterson of the Hero Games Company. I somehow got hold of his email or something, and I said, look, I'm making up this basically mud with Champions in it. People are going to play Champions. Is that okay? And what he said was, as long as you don't take like the text of the rules and copy and paste them into the game, you're fine, right? So, you know, he says, as long as it's not possible for people to like get the rule book from within your game, it's fine. And so obviously I made sure that that was true, and we let's see, anybody else here? Just this guy. So anyway, we were playing it under 4th edition rules, and then the Hero System 5 came out, and the couple of people in the chat were calling it Fred, right? And typing like this, F-R-E-D, capitals, like that. And finally I said, why does everybody call it Fred, right? And what had happened is, on some news group, back then there were bulletin boards and that kind of stuff, I guess someone had asked Steve Long, so is this going to be 5th edition? You know, Champions 5th edition or whatever. And he said, you can call it whatever you want. Call it Fred if you want, just as long as you buy it, right? And so then everybody started calling it Fred. So I actually don't know anybody other than myself, right, when I'm referencing it here. I really don't know anybody who calls it Champions 5th edition or Hero System 5th edition. Everybody that I know of calls it Fred. And that was sort of an acknowledgement by Steve Long that, you know, what matters is that the players play it, not what they call it, right? And he couldn't control what anybody called it either, and was smart enough not to try, and just said, just call it whatever you want as long as you buy it and play it, right? Because they had spent like, so my understanding is what happened is Steve Long was part of a group of people in California who were basically players of Champions. I think he had written some stuff for them, but he wasn't like, you know, a higher up in the company or anything. He had just done, I think, some contract work for them. And so he, I guess he and his group, when Hero Systems was abandoned by Iron Crown Enterprises, and Arbiter Kim, Arbiter Oates, and Arbiter Curry. Oh my gosh, we have so many more guys to fight. Alright, well, let's get our domination going. We'll hold our pets for the next one. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep the domination up for all of them. We'll just do the best we can. We do have a bunch of inspirations. Anyway, they purchased for, you know, bargain basement price. They purchased Hero Games. Steve Peterson and George McDonald were out of it. I guess they were retired or whatever, and they weren't involved anymore. This is around 2000, I think, give or take. And so then the first thing they did when they took over was they said, let's rewrite the rules and try to like improve it or whatever. I think they made it much worse. Right? I do not like the way the new version of the rules were written in Fred. But they had spent a bunch of money buying the company, and I don't think they had been able to put anything out because it was all under the old, you know, original editions. And so what they did instead, where are these other arbiters? Was they said, let's just revise the rules, and we can, here they are, over here. Oh, are they up? They're up. Okay, I don't know how. Okay, we'll get those. Like, I could teleport up there, but I don't know how I'm going to get him up. But there's stairways right here. Never seen this map before. Anyway, because they had spent a bunch of money on the company and then spent a bunch of their time and presumably money, you know, commissioning art and working on getting. Just made it. Working on getting everything, you know, set for the new edition, and you know, sure, it cost them some amount of money. They needed this to sell, right? If 5th edition hero system had tanked and not sold at all, and they hadn't been able to recoup the money that they had invested in it, the whole company might have, I guess, imploded. Now, I don't know that Hero Games ever really made out very well. I think it sold okay. You know, I don't know that it... I think it's still, like... I think Steve Long is still involved, and I think the company is still sort of semi-viable, semi-there, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But I don't think that they have... oh my gosh. Okay, Arbiters, I don't know what these guys are. Alright guys, we're gonna wait for this thing to recharge. Maybe we shouldn't. The domination's gonna tick down. Let's just go for it. We have our pets. We're gonna start with pets. Let them draw some aggro. Come on. Okay. And then see if we can get this thing to work. Man! Is any of it gonna work? Don't know. I don't know if we're gonna be able to win this fight. Pets are helping a little bit. The other guy's helping a little bit. We can, maybe, if we load it on, beat this guy. Try to head back this way to get my pet to help. Oh boy, another guy coming at me. Did he defeat Kang? I guess he did. See if we can hold him. Oh, we have domination up. Okay, that may help. That will help. Of course, it would help if my powers would recharge. They're slowing me, I think. Okay, we've dominated him, and he got knocked over the side. That's good. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, Hero Games, I guess they still somewhat exist. I think they did well for, like, you know, maybe 10 years, but it's been a while now, and I don't know that they, where is the other guy? I don't know whether they, it's the same people anymore. I don't really know. But yeah, he recognized that, my point is, he recognized that what matters is not what you call the thing, and that he really wasn't going to be able to control what people called the thing. He just wanted them to buy the game, right? And You know, you just... There isn't any way for the game company to make you refer to their game the way they want. So yeah, people used to call 5th edition hero Fred. Try to stack that on, even though there's nobody else here, just to keep him from attacking me. And that is a very tough fight. Again, I don't think Tiger Strike had this fight. I don't remember it at all. I don't remember this map at all. And I have to go back and watch those videos. I guess this is only on the Loyalist side. But that was tough. Save Antimatter's reactor and Neutropolis. 2 drones to defeat. Disable Dr. Eon's invincibility. What the heck? I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. Where is that? Where do we go? Upstairs, maybe? This is a really strange mission. Again, I feel like with some of these missions, they made them sort of too complicated for... There's Dr. Eon. He's a boss. They made it a little too complicated for the engine. He's invincible, so I'm going to have to disable his invincibility somehow. I don't know... Is that something to click on? I don't know what... 2 drones. Or is it... Oh, those drones. Okay, yeah, that's going to be a pain. And our buddy is gone. Now we do have our built-in buddies. And we can maybe make the drones fight each other. But I'm going to have to build Domination up somehow. We're pretty close to having Domination up. Ah, this'll get it. Yeah, I thought we had to disable something else, but I guess just the 2 drones with him have to be disabled. And the Domination is up. So apparently Dr. Eon is not going to be defeatable or hurtable until we take the 2 drones out. Our main problem now is damage output, and we definitely need to address that as we get into our 20s. Okay guys, this is where, if this was a single player game, you'd hit the save button. Let's see. We're gonna hit break free. Alright, let's hit alright, Domination. Break free. Possess that one. Oh, too far. Possess that one. Come on. Possess that one. Hit that one with that guy. And then hold him. And hopefully my guys have aggroed Dr. Eon enough. That's 1 drone. And then we go after the other drone, and you know, he's gonna probably wipe my guys, but if they can just keep him occupied until I take this drone out. And then we have to try and dominate Dr. Eon. My guys are hanging in there pretty well. He's just a boss. He's not an EB, which is good. Right, and we took out his biggest power, which is his invulnerability while the drones are up. And my pets are gone, but he wasted all of his attacks on my pets. They were very helpful. Thanks to Domination, we got him. Oh, and now we have to defeat Arbiter Sands. Wow, what a mission this is. I guess Arbiter Sands is upstairs. Oh no, he's downstairs. He's the EB. Oh, great. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to defeat this guy. He's gonna beat me, and I'm gonna have to go to the base, I guess. But we'll try. Yeah, I won't be able to do this without my pets and stuff. And without break free, yeah, he's going to defeat me. So we'll go to the base and we'll get some different inspirations. And then we'll come back and fight him. Yeah, without knockdown defense, we have no chance. He's got me entangled, yeah. Yeah, these are really brutal missions. I'm not sure even if a scrapper at this level would have a shot. I mean, the practice brawler or something like that would help. Nope. I'm not doing too bad against him, considering I had nothing, no domination up, nothing. I can mez him back a little bit, you know, but with no inspirations left, I just can't do the damage to him fast enough. Oh. There he is. I definitely don't want them shooting me. I want them to come down to me. Can we get them? Oh, no, there we go. That's going to be the end of it. If I can just defeat this guy. No, I was trying to kill him, but they'll all be healed up now. Alright, I'll bring you guys back when we're back to the mission. Alright, we're back in the mission. We have no chance at domination, unfortunately, now. But we do have enough break freeze that we should be alright. I've stocked up. And we have this, and we have these guys, and they should help. So let's run over here to Arbiter Sands. Not sure where he's going to be. Let's turn on stealth. 'Cause he shouldn't be aggroed to me because he's not an ambush. Oh, okay, there they are. Yep, they're all fully healed, which is super annoying. Let's let them go up. I don't want to deal with them on the elevations. So let me teleport up there. And we'll see. I don't know if we can win without domination. I really don't. I don't think there's any way to pull them. There he is. Alright, let's see if we can aggro him with those guys. Nope. But they will help with the damage. So we're going to hold one. And see if we can get rid of his drones. My guys are helping. We can get domination up. We might be alright, but it's going to take a while. Of course, I use accuracy, and then I miss. Come on. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to win this mission, I don't think. Not unless the domination comes up. Because he's too powerful. And I can't beat these guys, right? They're just taking too long. Alright, so let's... Oh, wow, he can just generate a new one? Alright, yeah, I can't win. Not unless I can get domination up. If I could dominate him, I could win, but that's it. That's the only chance. Because if he can just generate another one, then there's no point to even defeating them. I didn't realize he could do that. I have to stay away from him. Domination's up. Okay, that's good. If I can get this to recharge, there we go. Domination. Wow, he's immune to it. That's not good. Yeah, I can't win this, I don't think. Unless this stops him. Nope, I can't beat him. So we're gonna have to auto-complete this mission because I don't think I can beat him. The domination's like not working at all. Oh, did that work? No. Oh, that got him. Okay, well maybe now. Keep that guy away from me. Well, I thought I was gonna lose this, but maybe. 3 stacked dominations got him. Got him. Reactivate the sonic fence defenses to destroy the flyer. What? Something up there? Man, that took everything I had. I don't actually understand what the point of these giant mega maps is when there are only a few spawns on them. Because you just spend your whole time wandering around the map. Oh boy, and another boss. Wow. At least my buddies can help me here. Not that they've aggroed him. He only has eyes for me. And of course I miss him. Where is this thing? So the reason this takes so long is so that you can't sneak up here without him seeing you, because he would see you. Okay, we finished the story arc, I guess. So we shot down the incoming Arachnos plane. And we've leveled up. Antimatter, he's a relieved sigh. You don't know how relieved I am that that reactor didn't blow up. You said somebody named Arbiter Sands. Annoying. I wish I could have put him down myself. Well, we will find out more in the next episode. But we're going to stop here as soon as we level up. So getting back to our comments, if you're a D&D player, what are you going to call it? Are you going to call it D&D 2024? Are you going to just keep calling it 5e, and then if you do that, how do you distinguish between the previous version of 5e? Are you going to call it 5.1? Version 5 revised? 5 plus? Are you going to call it 6e? 5.5? Not call it anything? I'm going to call the game I'm playing Suede, Savage World Adventure Edition, but that's totally different. Alright, next power. So we still have this infiltration, which we could get, but okay, engulfing darkness. You release. Let's take a look at detailed info. You release a burst of negative energy to foes around you, dealing moderate negative energy damage, reducing the chance to hit you, and sapping their health over time. 30 negative damage to the target, and 4 ticks of 2.98, minus 7.0% to hit. Then this is Fearsome Stare is the cone. This is a disorient. Well, I was saying we need to do more damage. And this is another AoE around me. So if somebody comes up to me, I can smack them. I mean, we need both. And unfortunately, we also need to slot them. I think... Gosh, I don't know, guys. I think we need to do some more damage. Let's get the attack. And we can get new titles and stuff. We don't need any of that. Alright, so we are level 20, and we have 23,000 XP to go till the next level. We are still working for antimatter, and I think we have maybe one story arc left, and then we will be moving over to the next stuff in Paragon City. At that point, guys, we're not going to be seeing every level or everything about this guy. We'll probably just come back and visit him once a level to see how he's doing. Or we'll come back and visit him when I have like a rant to do or something like that. I hope you have enjoyed. Until next time, I am Scrapperlock, and this has been City of Heroes.